What's going on, guys? It's Mighty Manotaur, and today I'm here with my brother Kyle, also known as DrumKid92.
Hello.
Hey, you can't see him because he decided that for a video, it wasn't important to record his video. So you're going to hear him, and I'll make sure that my reactions are very big, so I'm interesting while he's talking. Like, hey, Kyle, say something.
I'm an idiot who forgot his webcam at his friend's place. So yeah, that's why this is happening.
So you have that to look forward to.
So the video quality suffers for it.
It's going to be fun. But today we're going to be talking about all of our E3 predictions for the different press conferences. There are friggin' how many press conferences? 9 of them? What is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
7.
6, 7? Plus the PC one, which
so 8.
We're not going to talk about the PC one. I don't know that there's tons to really predict there because it could be anything or nothing. But we're going to
probably a lot of tech stuff.
Yeah, we're going to go conference by conference. Each conference gets a separate video in the order that we're going to be seeing them. So first, today we're going to be talking about Bethesda's conference.
Yeah,
first time they've ever done one. Who the hell knows?
Well, I mean, cause it's the same thing for Bethesda and Square Enix, because neither of them have ever had a conference before. And so I think that speaks to them having a really strong lineup, because they wouldn't have a conference otherwise. Unless
you would certainly think so. And I mean, the expectation that it's going to be an hour and a half long, as all the conferences are.
Yeah.
They have to have some stuff to fill that space. So what we're going to do is give our predictions of what we think will fill that space. We each brought 5 different predictions for each conference, and we don't know what the other person is predicting. And then we each have one kind of joke, fun prediction that there's really no chance of happening, but it would be funny or cool if it did. And we'll do those at the end. So, and I should say, because these are going up as separate videos, I'm going to make a playlist that includes all the videos. I'll link that on the screen and in the description. So if you're seeing this and you want to see what we think about, Microsoft or Sony or whatever, click that and it'll take you to those videos once they're uploaded. So I'll let you go first, since we can't see your face, and hopefully get it over with. So what's your first prediction for Bethesda?
Fallout 4, obviously.
Okay.
I think we have to see Fallout 4. They've been teasing it like crazy leading up to the event. And it's the most logical step, because they always alternate between Elder Scrolls and Fallout, Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and this turn is Fallout. So, it has been an experience that has been sorely missed on this generation of consoles, is like a really solid open world Bethesda experience. And so I'm assuming it's going to be the big one. It's going to be Fallout 4, the big bomb that's dropped.
I think it'll be there too. That was one of my predictions as well. What capacity do you think we will see Fallout 4?
I think it's going to be a stinger trailer. No gameplay.
Yeah, that's it?
Just stinger. Yeah.
So, I mean, any sort of release date, window, anything? Just like...
I think it's just a stinger.
War never changes. Again.
War's still the same.
I also have Fallout 4 announcement as one of my predictions. They have to be announcing it. If they don't, people will lose their minds. They're having a conference for the first time ever. They don't have a ton of other stuff unless they have a bunch of new IP or new games, other new games that we haven't heard of before.
Right.
I think to help justify this big conference and this long conference, we're going to see an extended gameplay demo, like 15 to 20 minutes of Fallout 4. They've been working on the game since Skyrim launched, which was 4 years ago.
That's true.
This game has to be close to ready. Like, come on. I know they did DLC for Skyrim for the year following, but it's a relatively large studio. They were working on pre-production for Fallout 4 since Fallout 3 launched. And that was, 8, 9 years ago? It's been a long-ass time since we had Fallout 3. I think they're ready to go.
It has been that long.
Yeah,
it's been like at least probably 6 years.
I think it's been seven years.
7?
Since Fallout 3.
Holy moly!
Yeah. So I think that they are pretty far along, and I think we're going to get a huge chunk of gameplay. I don't know if they're going to lead off with that or close with it or whatever, because I feel like if you lead off with it, that's definitely going in with a bang, but that also would make people not necessarily care about the rest of what they have to show. But I think it's pretty clear to say that Fallout 4 will be a big presence. You know, you don't think it's going to have that long of a time at the conference. But
I think I'm just jaded and used to being disappointed by conferences, and like this year in particular has been such a shithole for games.
Right.
That I'm just I'm automatically assuming that we don't get to see anything cool.
Yeah. All right. So for your number 2 prediction, what you got?
An Elder Scroll Online expansion. Like a new expansion, because they have the PS3 version coming right before E3 at the beginning of June. Sorry, PS4, yeah. Right at the beginning of June, right before the conference. And I think they announced a big new expansion that's going to be available on both platforms, PC and PS4. I would say not immediately, but within in the middle of the summer, by the end of the summer at least.
You have to think that the PC version is still the lead version, so anything that's going to come to PS4 will be afterwards. It would be very cool to see, you know, that whatever expansion launched for free on the console version, do something like what Diablo 3 did, where it included all the DLC that had been on the PC. But we'll see.
That'd be cool.
I have that too. I definitely think that they're going to spend a lot of time on ESO. Because apparently it's doing relatively well.
Yeah, it is.
It went free, or I guess buy to play, not free to play. But
right.
Yeah, I know.
So it lost its subscription.
Right. The sales have been up, and people that are into that have been saying good things. I played a little bit of the beta, and I just didn't really get into it, but I'm not a big MMO person. So
yeah, neither am I.
Really
I've never been able to dedicate more than 2.5, maybe 3 weeks to an MMO. Like, I've played WoW, and I went back to that a couple times for, probably 2-week period each time. I've played EVE Online, and again, I'd go back to that for probably a 2-week period each time. I've done that 5 times now, just because I love EVE Online, but I lose myself in other games and other stuff I've got going on. But then also WildStar and Final Fantasy XIV, the original, I played for a few weeks and then gave up on it. I haven't tried The Realm Reborn yet.
Yeah, I'd be curious to check that out. I keep looking at it, but I just don't have time to jump into something like that, and that's kind of how I am with all MMOs. But
yeah, it's just because no matter what the MMO is portraying to you as the gimmick, and that seems really cool, at its core, every MMO is essentially the same, and that is working together with people you don't know, and I hate that.
Right.
I have the hardest time doing that, and I've had great moments in games where I have done, in Journey and different games like that, but it's something about in an MMO setting where I have to seek that out, or I have to seek out other people's help. I don't do it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why. But
I'm the same way. Very much a solo gamer.
Yeah, so I'm worried about the ESO thing. I don't think I'm going to be picking up the PS4 version. I don't even think I'm really ever going to play it, just because to be smart for me, I should just never play an MMO again.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on, number 3 prediction. What do you have?
Doom HD, the HD remake of Doom 3.
Interesting. Okay.
I saw a 8-second stinger for it they released.
I thought that was for Doom 4, or whatever they're going to call the new Doom.
Oh, maybe that was the new Doom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're right. So yes, so the new Doom. Yes.
Okay, so you think they're going? Fully unveil the new Doom. Think we're gonna get just a teaser trailer?
No, I think there's gonna be some gameplay shown, because Doom is one of their flagship series. So if we don't get Fallout 4 gameplay, then I think they're at least gonna be showing some Doom gameplay, because that stinger they released is in-engine footage, or in-game footage, I should say rather. And so I would assume, because they want to bring it back in a big way. We haven't seen a Doom in a while, probably as long as there's. Probably even longer than since Fallout. I want to say Doom 3 came out before Fallout 3. Maybe.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I'm going to say we'll see some gameplay on that this year.
I would agree with that. I also think, going off of that, I had, as part of my Doom prediction, I think they're going to announce officially when the beta is taking place.
Ooh, yeah.
Because they had tied that to Wolfenstein New Order when that came out. Buy the game, you get entrance into the Doom beta, and then haven't had any details at all come out since then. And it's been, what?
It's been a long time.
How long has it been since that game came out? 9 months at least?
9 months.
So I think that they're going to detail when the beta's happening. and maybe a release window for the game, like just even if it's 2016 or whatever.
Right.
I definitely think that they're gonna put Doom out there in a big way. So for number 4, they're going to announce Dishonored 2.
Ooh.
Arcane Studios, the people that made the first Dishonored.
Yeah.
They're obviously working on something. That game did pretty well, critically and commercially. I never got super into it. I guess it wasn't really the right time for me when I tried to play it, but I have it free from PlayStation Plus on my PS3, so at some point I do want to go back and check it out. I really liked the graphics of it. It reminded me a lot of BioShock, kind of cartoony, altered reality look to it. But it's very dark and gothic, Victorian looking kind of thing. And
and
the powers are cool.
Yeah, the power's great. Like they really have you utilize the abilities in that game. They make it really, really fun to experiment with things and toy with things. And I really, really enjoyed my time with Dishonored. I would love to see a second one. I think that'd be great.
I think we'll probably end up getting just a teaser trailer for that.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
So what did you have for number 4?
I had Evil Within 2. And that's just me. It'd just be a stinger trailer, just saying like, "Hey, it's gonna happen." Right. I know that the Executioner DLC, the last DLC for the first one, will be out, I think, this coming week. And so it's been a little while since that game was released, but they've been adding the content to it.
I personally think it's too early. I thought about that, and I think it's too soon since Evil Within came out, and especially because of how much DLC they've been doing. I really think that they've been focusing on that a lot. But, if it were to happen, I definitely agree with you that it would just be a teaser trailer.
Right.
I don't think... Because, if they are announcing it now, it's still not until a 2017 game, I wouldn't think. Because they have to be really, really early on in production of that, since it hasn't been that long since Evil Within came out. How did that game sell? Did it do very well?
It sold reasonably well, and I think the reason for that is because it had... crap, what's his name? The Resident Evil guy.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah.
It had his name on it. That's the reason I picked it up, is because I saw that as like, it's like pseudo the next Resident Evil 4 kind of a thing.
Spiritual successor.
Yeah. It's a return to horror and action, having a reasonable blend, like a mixture of both parts, kind of a 50-50, instead of, the latter Resident Evils 5 and 6, which have been more 70% action, 30% horror, and so to speak. Also, the third Dead Space. But I saw it as a return to that, and it was. All of my expectations were met. I thought it was a freaking awesome game. I actually have the season pass for it, and I have yet to play the DLC. I really need to get on that.
I had heard pretty good things about all the DLC.
Yeah, that's same here. So I'm trying not to let my expectations go too high, but I'm excited. And I heard I've been trying to keep away from information about the last DLC, the Executioner, but I thought I read a headline somewhere that it's going to be first person or some weird like change of genre almost, which will be kind of interesting to toy with. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I would love to see an Evil Within 2, and maybe that's why it's on my list. It's because I have wishful thinking. Yeah,
I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see it happen in general, but I think it's probably too early to be seeing that. But who knows?
Yeah.
And as your final Bethesda press conference prediction, what do you have?
Rage 2, of course.
Let me take a moment to laugh about that
one. Did you beat Rage?
I did.
Okay, so the ending
was terrible.
It was the worst ending to a game ever. It was the biggest like cliffhanger anticlimax I've ever had.
Yeah. And I laugh about a Rage 2 announcement, not because it was a bad game. I really enjoyed the game. I thought it looked great. There are plenty of flaws to it, but it was gorgeous, and the game, like the gunplay felt really, really tight, and it had a lot of great ideas. I loved the boomerang idea was awesome, and I really like the world they set up.
Yeah, so like imagine what they could do with a second iteration of that.
I'm totally with you. I think a Rage 2 could be a really great game.
They even had pretty decent comics to go along with it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, the Rage comics weren't that bad.
I just think that critically that game did really poorly, and it didn't sell all that well either. I think that's a very long shot.
Yeah, and I know id's probably focusing on the new Doom anyways, but
I would be excited about it. I'm right there with you. I would be pumped if they announced it. That just feels like if they were to announce a Rage 2, all of the press and the audience would kind of go, why? and if that's going to be the general reaction to your game
they know why. That game was awesome. People just forget that it's awesome. People forgot because they played through, they saw the ending, and it spoiled everything for them.
Maybe.
But they forgot that on the journey there was awesome.
I think it's more about the original expectations for the game and it not living up to those. Because graphically it was super impressive, but there wasn't a ton of meat there. I loved playing it, but as far as like the story went and the world went, it wasn't. And that it was a lot like Destiny in that way, where there just wasn't much depth there, or at least as much as there was the potential to have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I just have a generic. I think that they will be announcing a new IP. I have no idea what it is or who would be making it, but I feel like this is a really good place to get out there and announce something totally new. We're now 2 years into the new consoles, just about, and I think that it makes sense. Hopefully, overall, in general, at this E3, I think we're going to be getting a lot of new game announcements, not just sequels.
Yeah.
Because we're now long enough into the console cycles where
people have had time to develop or port things.
Right.
Projects.
They've had access to the tech for about a year before the consoles launched. So we're looking at 3 years. Going into 2016, 3.5 years, 4 years. I think it's about that time for us to be getting a lot of new games, and hopefully Bethesda will have one of those to announce as well. So, for your final kind of fun prediction, what do you think is going to happen?
All right. Hold on to your butt. Wayne Gretzky Hockey 4.
Okay.
Because Wayne Gretzky Hockey 3 was back in 1991. So I think they're gonna end the conference.
Dust that thing off.
They're gonna do some Fallout 4 stinger or like gameplay or whatever, and then he's gonna start to walk off. He's gonna be like, "Oh wait,
and one more
thing. Wayne Gretzky Hockey 4." It's just a title card that pops up with like an explosion and like a crowd cheering. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. That was a game. It was. Came out when I was 6 years old. Mine is... There's probably less of a chance of mine happening, but going off of my extended 15-minute Fallout 4 gameplay demo, Fallout 4 coming November 2015. Drop the mic, walk off stage. That's all they need to do and say. 15-minute press conference. That's it. Fallout 4 coming this fall. Bam.
I think you're full of shit.
I think I am too. But imagine how insane that would be. Again, they've been working on this game 100% for almost 4 years. Pre-production even longer than that. Bethesda Studios takes a long time to make games, and especially with this one transitioning to new consoles, wanting to not make the console versions completely fucking broken like what the PS3 version was, all the issues that were with the PC version, just the bugginess and glitchiness that has plagued all their games, they need a long time to make it. I'm not arguing that, but they've had a really long time to make this game. 2015
That's true.
Release date. Yeah.
If that were to happen, this year would have been worth living through.
It hasn't been that bad. I mean, I haven't been playing that many games because I haven't had time, but this has already been and is shaping up to be a better year than last year. But we have had a lot of stuff delayed. Like Uncharted 4 was my big game I was looking forward to, and that slipped. I mean, big games that don't really have release dates, but there's no freaking way they're coming out this year, like No Man's Sky and Final Fantasy 15. Like, that sucks.
Really,
But,
you don't think No Man's Sky is coming out this year?
No way.
Man, that blows.
Not even close. There's no way. But we'll get more into that with the other press conferences.
Yeah.
So, those are our Bethesda press conference predictions. Let us
Wayne
know in the
Gretzky Hockey
comments-
4. Look for it.
Let us know in the comments what you think is going to happen. Give me, a crazy wild prediction like Wayne Gretzky Hockey 4. So thanks, guys, for watching. Like I said, I'll be posting all the press conference videos each separately with a playlist linking all of them. So be sure to check that out. And hopefully it'll be a great A3. Thanks for joining me, little bro.
No problem.
Yeah, man. And we'll be back in the next video. Which is what? What's the next one? Microsoft?
Microsoft, yeah.
Sweet. So stay tuned for that. See you guys.